Good morning. So if you're into marketing specifically, you might want to tune in and turn up the volume. Today we have Nathan with us, who is the Chief Marketing Officer at Axonius. Not sure if I'm saying that correct, but Nathan will correct it later. He is passionate about bringing new technologies to the market to solve problems. He has held various marketing leader positions in various companies that have been acquired by Microsoft, even by Cisco, and is a frequent contributing author on topics related to intersection between collaboration and security. So he definitely does know what's going on in the market when it comes to technology, when it comes to the newest trends. So he definitely might also know what's going on in the market to get you that dream job that you've always wanted. Let's welcome Nathan on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom. Hi, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, Nathan. So can you tell us about where you're currently working, whether I pronounced the name of the company correctly, and what your position is within that company?
Yeah, absolutely. You nailed it. So I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Axonius. We are a cybersecurity company. I've been here, it'll be 4 years in November. And we've gone from me being the first US hire in 2017 to having almost 200 employees now. And I have a marketing team that will be 39 people by the end of this year.
Wow. So as
we are hiring.
You guys are hiring. That is definitely good to hear. So did the pandemic aggravate the situation for your company, or did you continuously keep on hiring? Or was it like, you were like, okay, we need to cut back. We need to take a step back and see how the situation unrolls with the pandemic?
So we've been remote from the beginning, and that allowed us to keep hiring throughout. It is our goal to be the fastest cybersecurity company in history to go from beginning to IPO. And because of that, we have incredibly aggressive goals. So we just kept on going.
I mean, if the thing is, as in like businesses, if you're not going to step up your game, someone else will and take away the customer. So it definitely makes sense why you're constantly rolling in and making sure that you are rigorous with your goals, which is something that's very important. So that's great to hear. So Mark, you've been, Nathan, you've been in the field for quite a while, especially regarding the cybersecurity field. What got you into marketing specifically? Why marketing?
Why marketing? So I went to school. I started as a marketing major. I got incredibly bored. I said, there's no way I'm doing this. I moved to sociology, loved it, and then found my way back after all. And so I've been at 5 startups, 3 cybersecurity startups. So for me, it's the idea of building something from nothing and bringing it into the world. That is what really gets me excited. And being in startup companies has let me do that. Being within cybersecurity companies and startups is even more exciting because you're actually doing something that helps people, but it's also really interesting in terms of the technology. It's an incredibly tight-knit group of people, a great community. And so I'm not doing anything other than cybersecurity from here on out for the rest of my career. And I love it.
Okay. I think startups specifically because they're like your baby. You can see them grow. You can see them flourish into the world. So I can definitely see why you would want to be a part of such a fast-paced environment, because you can see how you're making a mark on those people. But why specifically cybersecurity? Like, I understand that there's been a recent trend towards AI, cybersecurity, blockchain, but why specifically cybersecurity for you? Because you mentioned that you were part of 3 startups that specifically focused on cybersecurity.
Well, I think there's just a million different problems in cybersecurity, right? If you just look at the news at any day, I'm sure there's 5 breaches that I don't even know about because I've been on meetings all day that are in the news today. And it's gone to the level of President Biden just signed an executive order a couple of weeks ago, making this a big priority. And it's gone from, I've got a virus on my computer to now nation state attacks and ransomware and everything, right? So there's a million different products, and add to that the fact that there just aren't enough qualified people to do the jobs. And you start to see this huge mismatch. And how do I make sure that I keep everything protected as it should be when I've got people knocking on the door every day, trying to steal my data, encrypt it, and make money off of that, right? And so there is a lot of different ways to solve problems in cybersecurity, and everyone is trying to figure out what is the best effort to return ratio. And in cybersecurity, you're really trying to do something that's quantifiably valuable to them.
That makes sense. I think, so you mentioned specifically one thing that there's this mismatch between talent because there are not a lot of specialized people. So you did mention that you've been hiring and everything. How do you make sure that you hire the right talent specifically for an industry which has a very niche talent where a lot of people don't have the required skills required by a company? So how do you find those right people for your company?
Well, for me in marketing, I think one of the things you're getting to here is it's very difficult to find a lot of people with cybersecurity marketing experience, right? So what I do is I hire for a profile. So first of all, it's people that have done it before for someone else. It doesn't necessarily have to be in cybersecurity, but so for instance, the person running brand for me, she was never in a cybersecurity company, but she was in HR tech and several other different industries. But it's this idea of just translating both industry jargon, but what is the pain, and trying to figure out like how to translate that to something that's valuable. So you don't have to be deep in cybersecurity, but you have to be able to understand the problem and then what's different about what we're offering, and figuring out a way to write the story in a way that helps and doesn't just use fear, because a lot of cybersecurity marketing is FUD, and we don't want to do that. So to me, it's the person that has done it before. It doesn't even have to be in this industry, but says, if I could start all over on my own and run a function, this is how I would do it. That's the kind of people we look for.
Okay. And so there are a lot of people specifically in the field of marketing. According to you, because you've had such a vast experience when it comes to marketing, what makes a marketer specifically successful in their field, so that they can flourish compared to other people who are in the same industry?
I think there's a few things. So the first is just genuine curiosity. And in every interview that I do with anyone, whether it's someone I'm hiring for my team or another function within Axonius, the first interview I do is I just say, what questions do you have for me? I never ask a single question on the first interview. I figure by the time someone gets to me, they've already talked to someone that's evaluating them for skills. But instead, I'm looking at their curiosity. I'm looking at how they think about things. I'm looking at what they know about us from the outside looking in. And it doesn't matter if it's wrong. It matters if they're resourceful and if they can bring out new ideas and want to try new things. And so curiosity is just like, you have to have that. The second is just being able to bring new ideas that might be completely off base, but are things that aren't what we do every day. I love it when people say, I've got a million ideas. Why don't we do this thing? And I might say, because it doesn't make any sense. But if you get into a rut of doing the same thing over and over and over again, you just stall innovation. It's gone. So people that aren't willing to just go along day to day, 9 to 5, trudging through without adding anything new. And the other thing is, because we are all remote, for me, being assertive is absolutely necessary. You can't just sit back and expect someone to give you work if you only see them on a Zoom call. So people that are willing to just reach across, don't care about anybody's title, will say, I need this to get my work done, or I need this tool, or I need more budget. I want people that tell me what they need, instead of just saying, well, you didn't tell me I could get another headcount or that I could get another dollar to spend. So those are like the absolute musts. And one thing I always say on podcasts and on interviews, and very few people take me up on it, is I always say, like, if I could help you in any way, just reach out to me. I've had one person ever in the history of me saying this that reached out to say, I'm looking at this role. I was wondering if you could just give me any feedback on my pitch, my story, like what I'm trying to do. That's only happened once to ever. So people that are willing to do that are resourceful, it's really, really important, and nobody does it. People don't ask for help, and they don't use the resources that are out there. They just kind of sit back and try to be polite. In a company like ours that is growing as fast as we are, with these huge aggressive goals, we don't have time to babysit. So being able to understand that people are going to be resourceful, they're going to reach out, they're going to ask questions, that really shows me that you'll be a good fit.
That makes sense. So accountability, making sure that you ask the right questions will show your curiosity. And then your drive is something that is very important. And I can definitely see why that would be important in a startup environment. So Nathan, the most important question, you did mention you were hiring. What roles are open within your company? So if people do reach out, what they definitely know what they're looking into and what they should apply for.
So in demand gen, we're hiring for programs and campaigns, both in the US, EMEA, and APAC. That's in channel as well. We're hiring on the brand side. We're hiring in product marketing. We have, I think, 3 openings in product marketing, and in digital as well. So go to Axonius.com, go to our careers page. You'll see it there, or just connect with me on LinkedIn. Reach out. We are going to grow fast this year.
Okay, perfect, Nathan. Well, our time is up. It was definitely a pleasure learning from you about your experience and about your fast-growing company. It sounds absolutely wonderful, and I hope it continues to grow, and you continue to hire a lot of people. But thank you so much, Nathan. It was an absolute pleasure having you.
Thanks so much.